WWE has actually had some force change this week. After SmackDown, one of the other big stories was on Raw. Rhea Ripley had to come out and vacate the women's world championship due to last I saw was an AC injury. I've seen everything from 4 to 6 weeks to recover from a surgery to 3 months to feeling 100%. But I don't think WWE has said anything about it whatsoever. But correct me if I'm wrong. As of right now, they're saying that they're going to be determining who the next champion is going to be on Monday.
On Monday, I thought it was a tournament. It's not a whole tournament.
Well, I think the tournament is. I think they're starting a tournament on Monday.
That's what happens on. Okay. That's what starts on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We don't, but there's not many details about this at all.
No.
Well, I think
outside of Monday, I haven't seen anything.
I guess the assumption would be that something would be happening in France, Lyon, France, for Backlash.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? That's May.
Yeah, that's the beginning of May. Whatever that, I believe it's the first Saturday or Sunday in May. With the Raw situation over there with the women on that roster, who do we see picking up that title?
Liv.
Easily.
I ain't gonna say that because then I'm gonna be a hater.
Listen, do I want Liv to win the title?
Be who you are.
I don't.
Be who you are.
First of all, never mind. It's
Don't speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah,
I mean,
what you gotta say, man?
Give it to us.
I feel like there's always this campaign for Liv Morgan, and
I'm sorry.
While I do think she looks great and she should be a top girl, I just don't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't believe any of it. I don't believe it in the ring. I don't feel her hits. I don't feel like she's a major threat. The whole crazy, enraged,
the revenge tour.
Girl.
Yeah, the revenge tour. I don't believe it.
I still don't believe. I just don't believe her, and I'm sure she's a nice girl, but I just don't believe her. And it's like it makes me mad when I see this.
Really?
That's what I thought, Meals. Thank you. That's what I thought, Meals. I'm sorry, Didi.
Really?
It makes like she's like this.
Let me see if I can find.
If they had a lower tier, like an intercontinental women's title, then I would be all for it. But I don't believe her.
Yeah,
I knew I wasn't tripping. I just found.
The only reason I say no. Go ahead, man. No, I was gonna say the only reason I say Liv is because it seemed like they had a plan for her with Rhea. So it's like, okay, if you've got a plan for Liv,
gonna be like food.
Right?
Be crowned,
yeah.
But then if it's not Liv, then it's Nia, like because there's only
Nia Jax.
Right.
It's either Nia or
I think
Becky
I think Nia's in a perfect position to have a title right now.
Yes.
Nia's food as well, though. We know, right?
Well, none of them are food. Someone's got to get the belt.
For whoever. I mean, Becky Lynch is back. Rhea Ripley's going to be coming back at some point.
I don't think Becky does not need the
belt. I didn't. Who said need? I didn't say need.
I know.
I'm just surveying what's going on out there. At some point, Becky Lynch is going to get a title, right?
Right, but I'm just in my head picking off like you shouldn't have it right now, and I'm saying Becky shouldn't get it.
Becky, if it's Becky, they need Becky to be Becky to be champion. But I think it's Nia Jax.
Yeah. Becky just had the NXT Women's title not 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Becky will get a title if they wanted to get a title.
Have people really soured on Becky Lynch? I get this feeling.
Yes, they have.
Never felt great.
That too.
They finally caught up to what some people were feeling. I think it was going on.
Mm-hmm. You know, me and Mimi have this conversation behind the scenes all the time.
Salt and pepper.
About Rebecca Quinn. Get up on this. Me and Mimi talk about Rebecca Quinn, and her status a lot. And, she's always been made by somebody. Mimi said this perfectly. She's always been made by somebody. And
Nia Jax.
Right. And I just don't feel like I'm looking for that thing that makes me like, oh, she killed it in ring. I can point to
Never.
all of the horsewomen except for her.
Becky Lynch.
Yes,
I like that.
And find
talk that talk.
matches,
Talk your talk.
And find matches. I think I instantly think about Charlotte and Ronda and the kendo stick. I just love that match.
What I do?
I think about Sasha and Bailey NXT takeover.
Right.
I think about Sasha and Charlotte Hell in a Cell. I don't ever think about a Becky Lynch match.
Here's the answer to that is that
I love it.
When it comes to WWE, and I'm not saying for me, I'm saying what they're looking for. They want the moments more than the matches. And they had a lot more moments with Becky Lynch as the main character than they'd had with a lot of other women that have been at the top. But again, to your point, they're the ones that created those moments. So
yes, they
did. The other person created the moment. The other person created the moment.
She got bust up in the face.
Like Nia Jax punched her in the schnoz.
That's right. That's right.
I did think Becky and Sasha Banks was a good match.
I don't even remember.
They like this. This is what they want to see.
Right. They make T-shirts out.
She lucked out because at that point, the man was not the man.
Look at her eyes. She was gone.
She was knocked
out. Nia Jax should get anything she want out of that lady for the rest of her career.
For the rest of her life. The rest of her life.
Jesus Christ. So
Jesus Christ.
So Nia Jax or nobody, basically.
Is you saying Nia Jax is a nobody?
No, I'm saying it's got to be Nia Jax. Then if it's not Liv and it's not Becky Lynch, it's got to be Nia Jax.
I honestly don't think.
Somebody said in the comments, a couple people said Chelsea Green.
I was about to say the same thing.
Big food.
Big food, but entertaining.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a women's champion that's been. All of the women's champions have been very serious. They've been very,
dominant.
Girl. We haven't had a kind of champion like Chelsea Green. And
there's no reason
about Chelsea. I mean, yeah. But
Carmella did a good job.
Anyway, right.
Carmella did a good job. She was, but she did a good job of making you
being
hate
a character.
That she had it, making you hate that she had it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I like, and saying you're saying believable. I'm getting tired of when I say believable, meaning believing the character.
Right.
I don't believe Liv's character.
Right.
I don't believe when I say Sheamus is a character in the product, his product has always been presented a certain way. I believe Chelsea Green's character. I believe what that character does. I believe how that character moves. This is basic theater. This is show business. I believe her. So if I can believe the character, and
she could be your women's world champion
for a period of time. It don't have to be a long time. It don't have to be even 2 months.
It don't have to be clean. It don't have to be clean either.
It could be one night.
You wrote the story correctly, and the performer can deliver the story.
I don't know. It's for
a month.
Hey, Dad. Question. My bad. Let you finish your thought.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
I know. It was a few weeks ago.
Thank you, Rhea.
We had a conversation about Roxy. Right. And then you came back, and then we picked we continued that conversation. You were like, "I'll take that back. I can see Roxy with her and Liv Morgan, with her and Liv Morgan being about the same size and stature." What is it that Liv isn't doing? So you believe what Liv's doing in the ring and just not the character, or do you think that she's not doing something in ring to believe it?
I halfway believe it in the ring. What it is, and I'm going to be fair to her, and I'm going to be fair with how I assess, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a person that has 800 years of wrestling knowledge. I come from theater, I come from film, I come from music. And rule number one to those industries, especially being a former battle rapper, we have to believe you.
That's fact.
And the problem is the characters who do well, the performers who do well, in some capacity, we believe them.
Okay.
Roman had a hard time trying to be a face because the public knew he wasn't no damn face. But the minute he became a heel, we believed that heel.
We believed
That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking a dig at that person personally or anything like that. Sometimes it comes down to the writing of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it comes down because guess what? There have been people who were supposed to be squashed, who made that squash work because they leaned into the character and rose. R-Truth has lasted way longer than he should have because he has leaned into the character. He is making people break character on stage, and that's because he is leaning into that gimmick. If I don't believe you in the gimmick, it's not going to translate. We could put that belt on Liv, and guess what? Does Liv elevate that belt? She had the belt the last time, and she fought Ronda. Did she elevate that belt?
I didn't believe that run at all.
We didn't believe it at all.
I don't blame Liv for that though. Big Jersey's doing their thing.
How long?
He's a Jersey.
I was there. I saw when she lost that title. I wasn't fit. Well, and the other thing was that because we talked about this. I'm looking it up now, Matt. The other thing we didn't touch on when we were talking about this on Turnbuckle Talk, I believe Liv was supposed to be getting in that Wyatt family because that was the night Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, returned, and her Twitter went black. Seth Rollins went. So she lost that title. I think something else was going to happen because they wanted Ronda Rousey to be that person. But that was 2022. When did she win that title?
Yeah, that was another thing with Ronda. Ronda, another one, started off nice, but then she stopped believing in the character. Ronda wanted to be a face, and when Ronda had to become a villain, or should have become a villain, she didn't want to do that. She wanted to be America's hero, and as a result, the crowd turned on her.
Mm-hmm. Liv held that title from July of 2022 to October 2022, about 98 days.
See, this is why this is why your voice is important in this conversation, because we're all, for the most part, like, when we hear Liv Morgan, we're like, oh, well, we know Liv. Like, Liv's been there for years, and we've seen her go. You're saying that you're coming at it from a completely different point of view. You don't have the wrestling knowledge that a lot of other people may come in with. But that's perfect because there shouldn't be any gatekeeping. Too many people gatekeep wrestling to the point where they can't see what the product really should be at a certain time. Like, the product should be, like, okay, if you're someone who hasn't watched wrestling, this is something I talked about a little bit in a different context that, Cal, I'll put that on you if we want to get into that a little later. Mm-hmm. But there was something that happened on Raw this past week where I was like, this is beautiful. If you showed someone this 30-second clip, they would know immediately what's going on. They would know this person's a babyface, this person's hot, like the whole crowd's behind them. And it's like that's stuff that they didn't do in the past, but that new viewers like need. And older viewers need it too, because it's just invigorating. It's exciting. But like they need to always take each show as if someone brand new is going to be watching.
That's right.
And sometimes we forget that.
And you know what? Honestly, I love that you said that, because when I got back into wrestling over the pandemic, it were certain people that came across my screen in commercials that intrigued me. And I always point to Bianca. She intrigued me because she spoke to me on a cultural level in a different space. I had no idea what was going on in wrestling. Charlotte Flair. You know why they always put that belt on Charlotte? Because you believe her. You can't stand her when she gets it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Whoever beats her
is made.
Damn, y'all called her Roman
Some people
Reigns.
don't know what they want sometimes. Like, I remember when Jinder Mahal got the belt a couple years ago. God, it's been like almost, 8 years now?
Who did he win that off of again?
2017? Something like
AJ
that.
Styles?
Yeah, well, he won it from Randy Orton.
Okay.
But I had problems his reign. They did that racist shit with him and Shinsuke, and like that wasn't cool. But the way he won the belt, I was all on board with because he was a true chicken shit heel, and I liked the way that he came back into the fold, and he was now all like big buff Jinder Mahal, and he was like, you know what? I've got my 2 lackeys with me now. Like I'm at the bottom of the food chain. Fuck it, I'm just gonna go right to the top, and I'm gonna steal the belt. I'm gonna goad Randy Orton into a match, and then I'm gonna use my lackeys to put him down, get the belt. And then he was like driving away in a limo, like in the sunroof, like waving the belt around Las Vegas. And it's like that's good heel work, and people were pissed about it and like, oh, he doesn't deserve it. Blah blah. Bullshit, he doesn't deserve it. He made you.
I believe
exactly. He made you hate him.
The difference is Jinder Mahal is like 6'8".
Well, okay.
15 pounds of fucking. He's chiseled.
On that note though. Because someone in the chat mentioned the name, Shayna Baszler. I mean, she was at Bloodsport. She stomped somebody on their head and won the match. Nobody wasn't thinking about that. Is that somebody who should hold the title?
The problem that I have is they gave up on Shayna Baszler when they started having her biting niggas.
Right.
That was a minute ago.
That was years
that
ago.
was a minute ago.
We remember.
But she came in fire.
Yes,
that was right around the time Roman Reigns got the dog food dumped on him. It was a little after that.
Deserved. All that was deserved.
Shayna has not been written well since she left NXT. I don't blame her. I blame the writing. Once again, she is a victim. I'm gonna tell you 2 people who are stellar, and victims of writing the character. Io and Shayna. Io and Shayna, the way that character is made believable and is gotten over is through that ring work.
Because you're 1,000,000,000% right, and I'm like, yo, that works on the other show. Their ring work will work somewhere else.
Jesus.
I don't think so, because the crowd was really excited for EO on night 1, or was it that night 2?
They were dead for the whole run.
Yeah,
when she came through.
They didn't do nothing.
That proved that if you had put her in the ring during that run and had her doing outrageous spots, damage control, have her being reckless, the trash can spots, when she was at NXT and she dropped the dunk on Raquel and jumped off the top of the display. That's what we should have been seeing from Io Sky, because the language barrier is an issue. Honestly, Asuka is the only one who knows how to break the language barrier without speaking English. The rest of them just don't know how to do it. Except for in ring. You got to give these ladies matches. That's how those characters are made. They got to be assassins. Shayna, same thing. I don't like Shayna when she opened her mouth. But Shayna's presence, Shayna's feel in ring, Shayna's intimidation, that is how you write the character. They're not. I did like
her with. I did like Shayna with Nia at one point when they were doing the shopping. Like I like the comedy.
I know what you're talking about. They did the shopping venue. I know what you're talking about.
They were walking around being like.
You don't remember that? Was it not? She was getting married or something like that. Or she was going on a date. Nia was shopping for something, and Shayna didn't want to be there.
Shayna was on a date.
Yes,
it was with Reggie. Yeah, it was when Reggie was trying. It was
with Shayna.
Reggie thing.
Yeah, it was around this period. It was sometime around there. No bullshit. It was sometime around there.
It was campy. It was campy, and I
was gonna say
Shayna was on a date with Reggie.
No, Nia was on a date with Reggie.
Math is shocked. He's doing the Home Alone.
Damn, what
slapping his face.
She is called the Queen of Spades.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, listen.
Jesus Christ. What I was gonna say was to DDM's point, and it's a conversation we were having in the chat on Tuesday night. If you watch Tuesday and what Shawn Michaels is doing with the NXT show, in that 2 hours, you're guaranteed at least 2 segments with women. One of them is going to be an ill match. You may get dope matches out of both of them with conversation. Women are all over that show. If there was even a little bit of the attention, facts was paid. It's
no,
facts.
you did the woo-ha.
Oh, my fault. My internet was interneting. My fault. My fault.
You like a Hype Williams video for a moment. Like,
Queen of Spades is not the name of the show, but women are all over that show in a great way. They're really highlight. Roxanne Perez,
you're right.
Jada Parker, any woman that's on that show, if they're dope, they're gonna have a fan base. If they took a little bit of that, specifically for Raw, for your Shayna Baszlers, for your Liv Morgans, for your Nia Jaxes, for your Chelsea Greens, for your Candice LeRae's, you could get some real traction, some real motion out of these people.
But for someone like Shayna, I know like only certain people, I guess, get this treatment now. But like, what would be the problem of giving her like a manager or
I agree.
I feel like
then I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see
because
that.
some people just don't. Some people like their in-ring work is so specific that you almost don't want them to speak. And that's a very small category because in a perfect world in wrestling, you would want everyone to learn to show their character. But with Shayna, I think she falls into that class of you could have a mouthpiece for her.
Who?
Oh, put a manager on her.
No, you are going in and out.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
who's the voice that you put with her though? Who's the manager?
I see. This is where
I don't know.
If they go together. Question. I don't know if these two go together, but when I felt bad when they brought Ronda Rousey in and they had Sonya Deville. Right, I'm gonna get there. Just watch me. I'm gonna get there. Sonya Deville's character they wiped their ass. Ronda Rousey wiped her ass with Sonya Deville's character. Right. Sonya Deville came back, remade herself into what she was, which was the assistant to the chair, whatever the fuck she was.
Yeah.
And you saw her on air character develop there. She began to speak on the mic more. I would put another woman with Shayna Baszler, and that's where I would use Sonya Deville, to be honest with you, because she can talk and she's not soft.
I like that. That's a good idea.
But she's not as great in the ring, but she's better on the microphone. So that's where I would use her.
Okay.
Fat bitches. That's what I'm talking. See, man.
No, we're on the same page.
We be on the same page. Even though we're not on the same page about Toyota Montana.
Don't do that. Don't. Salt and pepper.
No, I didn't say anything.
You think it's funny.
No, you got to do the Jada Parker. Do the Jada Parker.
Or she hit the.
Yup.